Have you ever thought about the idea of marriage? Because now I am officially married. Ooh! It's very exciting. It was a very amazing ceremony and reception, and I'm so happy to be married now to my beautiful wife, which is going to be very strange to say now, but super excited. I'm still over the moon about the entire event and everything. It was just a very lovely night, so super happy. And yeah, hello everybody, this is that Manga Dude. And now we're going to talk about the complete opposite of something that's super happy and things like that. So this is going to be a pretty short video. It's going to be my top horror manga, actually. So just to give you some context here, I don't actually own and read a ton of horror manga, mostly because it's not super common to come out in English other than from like basically two people, which is Kazuo Umez and everyone's favorite Junji Ito. But we have been starting to get a lot more horror manga nowadays, which is super cool to see. So my list was very much skewed. I tried to limit myself to just one Junji Ito work because there are a couple that I would say that are actually very good and I actually really like, but I kept it to just one, and might surprise some people if you did not watch my shorts. But yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I can't wait to get into it. But first, I'm gonna give you my honorable mention, and that is gonna go to Drifting Classroom. Everyone, if you know horror manga, you probably know this series. It's a very popular one. It's actually only did not make my list because I've only read the first volume. If I had read the entire series, it might actually be on this list. So unfortunately, not gonna be on this one. But yeah, let's get started right now. Okay, so number 5 is going to go to actually probably one of the more recent series that are one of the most recent manga that I decided to read. Very exciting, and it is The Town of Pigs from Hideshi Hino. I read this one. I think it was actually one of the very first FVIs I ever did, which was pretty exciting, but this was a very creepy one. There's some really dark art. Hideshi Hino is really great at making just some pretty strong compositions as well, some just absolutely horrifying moments across the board, and it also has a pretty massive twist at the end of this, but overall I thought it was pretty good. But let me read you the description super quick. One night, under a blood-red moon glimmering with demonic beauty, a group of devilish creatures armed with axes and spears came riding into a quiet city on horseback. One by one, they loaded the villagers up into cages and carried them off without any explanation. I barely managed to escape alive. So yeah, this was pretty awesome. Also, it's from Starfruit Books, which is super flipping cool because they are an indie publisher, and you gotta love that. You gotta root for indie publishers because they bring over some of the most interesting works to English. So really happy to have read this, and yeah, it has my number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, this one's an interesting one. This is a horror manga anthology titled Betwixt. So it's pretty interesting because it has comics from Western artists and Eastern artists, which is super flipping cool. There's 3 manga artists reading this direction, and then 3 artists from various other countries reading this direction. So overall, it's really flipping cool. I actually really like this, and yes, I understand that Junji Ito did do the cover design, but he actually did not have a story within this book. Some really great stories just across the board. I can read you all of the names really quick. So we have Ryo Hanada, Aki Shimizu, Shima Shinya, Michael W. Conrad, and Becky Cloonan, Sloan Long, and Leslie Hung, as well as Hua Shu. So super flippin' sick. Honestly, just to see this kind of work come out in English is just awesome. I love being able to see various creators coming together to make a pretty interesting anthology. While I don't like every single story in this book, there are some really fantastic and creepy stories just across the board. Definitely will get you get your skin crawling in that kind of horror aesthetic way. So yeah, overall I would highly suggest checking this out. It's actually really flipping cool. Alright, coming into number 3, this is probably my most controversial pick on this list, and that is going to be Guio by Junji Ito. This is a 2-volume series, or 1 hardcover if you're getting the new print. But yeah, I just really love Guio. I thought it was fantastic. I read Uzumaki first, and then picked up Guio, and I thought Guio was way more spine-tingling and creepy and disgusting, and it's just absolutely horrifying read across the board. There's something about like the kind of like mechanical, strange, weird like animals just kind of running around, skittering around, being strange and biting and attacking people. So overall, this one really just freaked me out. I can read you the back really quick, but the rank order of death floats above the famous island What is the source? Then a strange fish with legs appears. So begins teenagers Tadashi and Koyori's plunge into the horror and stench of the sea. So if you're scared of the ocean, this book is absolutely not perfect for you. I would highly suggest not reading this. But yeah, it definitely invokes a lot of fear, a lot of creepiness just across the board, and I really enjoyed it actually. I think this is my favorite Junji Ito work personally. So yeah, definitely give it a shot, and it's highly suggested by me and deserves the number 3 spot. Coming in at number 2, this is actually a currently releasing series that I'm a huge fan of, and that is going to be Dark Gathering from Kenichi Kondo. Just a really flippin' fantastic series. I love it a lot. Follows the story about a guy named Keitaro, who's basically has like these like supernatural kind of feelings. Always feels like this sense of like shivering and disgust because he just knows about spirits and ghosts, and they tend to are attracted to him. So he ends up meeting this character here, who is currently looking for a spooky ghost / spirit that has taken away her mother. It's a very interesting story. The action is fantastic. The art is really flipping cool as well. Some of the character designs are very strange, but I kind of love it. I like that she has random skulls in her eyes, but this one's really cool just across the board. If you're looking for more of an action-packed horror series, this one I highly suggest. Kenichi Kondo is absolutely killing it with some beautiful art. A very interesting story as we proceeded through, I think it's 9 volumes now, and I'm just keep getting super excited about picking up new volumes because I'm like, oh, what's the next monster of the week kind of thing. So, hell of a lot of fun, and I am excited for the next one. And coming into my number 1 horror series that I have personally read, I think it's going to be pretty obvious for people who have been reading horror manga and are kind of in tune with what's popular right now. And I was super happy to pick this one up, and it really creeped me out across the board. I think that's what I'm particularly looking for in a horror series, is when something is just super terrifying, super horrifying, unexplainable, weird, strange, really keeps you off guard. And that is going to be PTSD Radio from Masaki Nakayama. This is a 3-volume series from Kodansha, and man, this was absolutely terrifying from start to finish. There were so many moments that just gave me the heebie-jeebies. I actually legit screamed at some parts. So, this one is kind of also like a short story collection. There is an overarching story that kind of flows through most of the stories, not all of them. But it's just terrifying. I mean, Masaki Nakayama is really, really good at building up tension and kind of just like giving you these moments of just pure dread, especially because you just know that something bad's going to happen when you're flipping through it. You're like, okay, this is probably where something's going to happen. And sometimes he subverts my expectations for sure in terms of when those spots are going to happen. So overall, PTSD Radio is really flipping cool, really creepy. And in the last volume, he actually talks about some of the creepy happenings that happened to him while writing PTSD Radio, and those definitely freaked me out. I get really creeped out by real life like horror stuff, especially that happens to certain people. And that one was just a lot to read. But overall, PTSD Radio is probably one of the best horror manga to be released recently, at least in my personal opinion. I'm actually kind of excited, and hopefully they pick up Masaki Nakayama's other work, which is way more popular, and I forgot the name of it. I'll probably put it up somewhere right here, and I'll definitely put it in the comments. But yeah, really excited, and this is definitely my number 1. And that's going to be it for this video. That is my top 5 horror manga of all time, which is, yes, it's not a lot, but that's because I haven't read a lot of horror manga, but it is the month of October, so I really needed to talk about some horror stuff because my last video was a lot more essay focused, and it was a lot of work, so I need something to be a little bit easier to film, easier to create, and this was a lot of fun just in general. I like talking about manga. As you couldn't tell, it's in my name. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. And let me know what horror manga you think I should read in the comments below. What are your top 5? Also let me know in the comments below. Those are all amazing things. You guys are super awesome. Thank you so much. If you want to join my membership, you can pay just a little bit of money for a shout out at the end of videos, or if you pay a little bit extra, you get videos early, and if you pay even more, then you get exclusive videos for members. So yeah, those are all super amazing things. You don't have to do that. You support me just as much by following, or by, not following, by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Those things mean a lot. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.